Now, without looking at the Chinese writing on the top reel, which two of these reels sell for $169.95 and which two of these reels sell for 50 bucks? Okay, let's start with my favorite catfishing rod. This is an Ambassador 6500 C3. I prefer this reel over any other. It's a good price. I've had this reel for a number of years. It used to belong to my grandfather years ago. My favorite rod is the Meat Hunter line of rods. This happens to be the Extreme. It's wrapped all the way out to the end, black. The only thing I don't like about this rod is the end is black, the tip's black. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're getting a bite because it's hard to pick up the tip if you're away from your rod. But I love the Ambassador 6500 C3. Also have another Meat Hunter rod. This is a cheaper version. This is a Meat Hunter 8-foot. All these are one-piece rods. They have different eyes and different taping on them, but this also was an Ambassador 6500 C3. This one has a 60-pound braided line on it. The other has 40-pound monofilament. And I bought this off a friend of mine a few years ago. And same brand of rod. I like the 8-foot rod for catfishing. So anyways, I got a $320 birthday gift from the church. Just blew me away. I could not believe that they would remember my birthday, much less give me something, much less give me that much. So I thought, what am I going to go buy that I would use and enjoy and it would last? I thought, I'm going to go buy a 6500 C3 and another 8-foot Meat Hunter rod. So that's what I went to do. And I knew I wouldn't spend all of it, but that would be a big chunk of the $300. Because a setup like this is going to cost you around 200 bucks. You'll be around 125 to 150 for the reel. Time you put line on it, another 25, 50 in the rod. So you're looking at a $200 setup. I got down there to where I buy my Meat Hunter rods, and I saw this already rigged up with no line on it, but rigged up with this reel, and I thought, that's not an Ambassador 6500. What is it? It is a DynaMicer XW-50, a DynaMicer Dancer. It looks like a 6500. It has a lot of the same look. It's definitely not a 6500. So when I got down there, I began to look at these reels. I thought, well, I wonder if they'll work. You know, I wonder how they'll hold up. So I started looking at them, and then I looked at the price tag. $95, $94.99. So I thought, okay, for a $100 bill, I've got a $50 rod, and I guess this would be a $50 reel. That's about $100 cheaper than a 6500. I know it's not a 6500, but how bad is it? We don't know. So I filled this one up with some 40-pound strand pink monofilament, and since I was going to spend $200 anyways, I bought the other one they had, and I filled it up with some 80-pound braided line. I've cast them a few times in the yard. They seem to throw okay. They'll probably scream like an eagle in a couple weeks, but for only having $50 in the reel, if they don't work, if they are junk, I think it's worth trying out. They do come with the 6500 C3. They do come with a bait click option, so you can set the bait click They actually sound pretty loud. That's pretty good. But instead of a push button, they've got the switch. The guy at the store said he thought a lot of the same parts for the 6500s would fit on these Chinese imports. Now I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking it too. It's Chinese. It's probably junk. It's probably going to look like crap in a couple weeks. But I'm catfishing. I'm not casting for stripers. So if I can get out 20 yards of line and have my bait click set and the drag works halfway decent, they're fine for catfishing. They're $100 less than a new 6500. One thing I have noticed is in the bottom here. If you'll notice on the 6500s, an older one like this, you have a full rod going across. And that rod crosses from one side of the pole to the other. Maybe you can see it this way. See this rod we're talking about here? This rod that's going across? I noticed when I look at the Chinese model, it just has rivets here, in here. So you have this rivet, and you don't have the crossbar, but the crossbar is connected to the part that you tighten up here. So I don't know, time will tell. I looked all over Google, I looked all over YouTube, I looked all over eBay. I didn't find one of these for sale. Who knows? Maybe it's junk. Maybe it's not. Anyways, we'll be fishing with them this summer, and I'll let you know how they work.